A man mutters to himself, clutching a dented thermos labeled piss in Sharpie. Santa shoves the man into a shelf labeled self-help. Books rain down the 7 habits of highly effective people, hits him in the skull. The man collapses, sobbing. Santa stares at his own trembling hands. Interior public library. Santa grabs the intelligent investor and swings it like a brick. Santa, here's your dividend. The book slams into the man's temple. Santa staggers up, clutching a torn copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People. The man lies motionless under the road not taken. He knees the man in the gut. The man gurgles. Man stumbles into the art of happiness, grabs it, and hurls it. Man collapses into Buddhism, plain and simple. The book spins, chopping the man's ear off. It lands in a donation bin labeled peace. They're both broken now. Santa's nose is smashed plumb. They swing weakly, slapping each other with the Tao Te Ching and awakening the Buddha within. Pages stick to their wounds, sutras glued with blood. Santa crawls towards his trash bag, dragging a trail of blood and shredded 8 mindful steps to happiness. His hand rests on no death, no fear, fingers twitching like a dying spider. The janitor mops up around him, humming Hallelujah in a minor key. The man, missing 2 teeth, crawls towards the Book of Joy. Interior Public Library Buddhism section. The fight stumbles deeper into the self-help aisle where titles like The Happiness Trap and 10% Happier mock them from pristine shelves. Santa, his left eye swollen shut, snatches The Happiness Project. Its pastel cover slick with blood. He jams the spine into the man's throat, crushing his windpipe with a wet crunch. Santa, rasping flecks of spit and stops. How's your project going? The man gags, retaliates with Happiness for Dummies, slamming it into Santa's ribs. Pages titled 5 Easy Steps to Joy scatter like confetti at a funeral. Santa staggers, trips over the pursuit of happiness, and lands elbow first on the how of happiness. The impact cracks his ulna. He screams, grabs authentic happiness, and whips it at the man's skull. The book explodes. The man, missing 2 teeth, crawls towards the Book of Joy. He tears out a page titled Finding Light in the Darkness, crumples it, and shoves it into Santa's bleeding nostril. Santa headbutts him, their foreheads colliding with a sound like rotten pumpkins. They collapse into the happiness hypothesis, crushing its glossy promises under their weight. The man, delirious, bites Santa's ear. Santa yanks the happiness advantage off the shelf and slams it to the man's jaw. Teeth skitter across the path to happiness, embedding in the chapter on gratitude. The man's hand flails, clawing at the little book of Highgate. He whips it. Santa ducks, and the Danish manifesto of coziness smashes into a framed poster of Read equals hope. Grabs the joy of living with his good hand and shoves it into Santa's mouth. Santa bites down, spitting paper and blood, then spits a wad of unlocking happiness into the man's eye. A rat scuttles from the dumpster. It climbs Santa's leg, teeth sinking into his groin. Santa howls, flinging the rat into a puddle. The Happiness Project slips from his grip, landing in a slurry of motor oil and condoms. Joy my ass, literally. The man, nursing a broken finger, flips to The Art of Happiness. A truck barrels past, wheels plunging into a pothole. Blackwater geysers drenching the book. The Dalai Lama's face melts into a Rorschach blot of sludge. Man, suffering is optional. Santa, pulling flask from his trash bag. Optional? Tell that to my balls. He chugs peppermint schnapps, then hurls the flask at a 10% Happier billboard. It shatters. The man tries to wipe his book clean with the Burger King napkin. The pages disintegrate. A cop car cruises past, spotlight pinning them. The cops laugh, toss a half-eaten donut. It lands in Santa's lap. He stares at it, then at Eat, Pray, Love, splayed in a gutter. Eat, pray, how about die? The man opens the Book of Joy. A cockroach crawls out, antennae twitching. He slams the book shut, crushes the roach. Its guts stain the chapter on Finding Light in the Darkness. Rain soaks through their clothes. Santa's rat bite throbs, swelling purple. The man's broken finger oozes yellow. They huddle under a Happiness is a Choice poster peeling off a brick wall. A stray dog pisses on Santa's boot. Choice. This is a choice. He kicks the poster. It floats into the street, gets devoured by a sewer grate. The man digs a half-smoked cigarette from the how of happiness, lights it with shaking hands. The book's margins are filled with someone else's abandoned notes. Day 3, breathe. Santa continued, breathe. Yeah, breathe through the gangrene. The man offers him a cig. Santa takes a drag, winces. They sit in silence, watching rain erase the words of the Happiness Trap into pulp. A bus screeches past, splashing the last clean page of authentic happiness. Text on screen, self-help can't mend a broken system. Interior Public Library self-help section, night. Man grabs the art of happiness. He cracks it open, the dried moth flutters out. He hurls the book. It spins, pages splaying to reveal a chapter titled Breathe Through the Pain. Right before it smashes the man's nose into pulp, the man staggers. Man grabs the little book of Hayek. He opens it up. A cockroach scuttles from the chapter on cozy evenings. The man slams the book shut, crushing the roach. Its guts ooze over, lighting the perfect candle. Man gurgling, fuck the Hayek. Santa limps to the Happiness Project, carries it off the shelf. A dead mouse tumbles out, desiccated and nested in the chapter January Energized. He whips the book at the man's head. The mouse carcass explodes on impact. Man retaliates with the joy of living. He swings, Santa ducks. The book smashes a framed poster of Reading is Freedom. Glass shards rain down. Man opens the book again, aiming for Santa's skull. A fat housefly buzzes out, landing on his lip. He bites down reflexively. The fly's guts burst, bitter on his tongue. Santa grabs the power of now, but pages are fused with mold. Black spores puff into his eyes. He blind swings, hitting the man's knee with a sickening crack. The man collapses, howling, claws at the happiness hypothesis. He rips out a page, Happiness is a Choice, and shoves it into Santa's mouth. Santa, chewing paper, laughing, tastes like bullshit. He spits the pulp into the man's face, then stomps on the how of happiness. The book's spine snaps, releasing a cloud of silverfish that scatter like ash. Man crawls towards happiness, a guide to life's most important skill, but Santa kicks it aside. A family of spiders spill out, skittering up the man's arm. Santa finds a copy of the happiness equation in a dumpster. Happiness equals not being born. Solve that equation, asshole. Semi-truck blasts through a puddle, drenching the book in oily sludge. Santa hurls it at the truck's taillights. Man collapses on a bus bench, clutching a torn Happiness is a Choice. He gurgles, pointing at a bullet hole asterisk in the chapter on positive thinking. Santa taking a rat off his boot. Shut your hole. Santa finds a waterlogged Joy on Demand in a storm drain. The pages fuse into a pulp brick. A volunteer hands Santa the art of happiness in a troubled world. He tears out the pages, stuffs them in his shoes for insulation. The man finds a happiness, a guide to life's most important skill in a porta potty. Santa trips over a syringe, lands face first in a copy of the Happiness Advantage left in the gutter. Santa lights a crumbled page from the Book of Joy for warmth. The man collapses, clutching Happiness, a very short introduction to his chest. Santa kicks him. No response. Exterior alleyway behind Barnes & Noble night. Santa and the man huddle under a tarp duct taped to a dumpster. A bloated copy of the Happiness Blueprint floats in a murky puddle. Santa fishes it out, tears off the cover to wipe his ass. Santa grimacing. The man coughs up a lungful of despair, clutching Happiness in Hard Times. A rat gnaws through the chapter on resilience. He tries to strangle it with the book's ribbon bookmark. Rain soaks the Happiness prescription beside them. The man whimpers, tries to wring it out. Santa snatches it, shoves it into a crack on the wall to stop the draft. The man crawls into a shopping cart filled with the Happiness Project paperbacks, all waterlogged. He lights one on fire for warmth. The flames sputter, spewing toxic ink smoke. Santa hacks, kicking the cart. Project failed. Santa finds some other book, finds a page about cozy socks. His own socks are plastic bags. He lobs the book at a stray dog. The dog pees on it. The man laughs. A wet, broken sound. Santa grabs the Book of Joy from the dumpster, slams it shut on the man's fingers. They scramble, slipping on the Happiness trap, now a sludge paste underfoot. A cop rolls by, laughing at TikTok. Santa spits. The camera pans up to a billboard for a meditation app. Happiness at your fingertips. A pigeon shits on the word happiness. Blood drips from Santa's split eyebrow onto the miracle of mindfulness. The man's left arm hangs limp, dislocated by a prior swing of Zen mind, beginner's mind. A delivery truck honks, veering close. The puddle explodes. The book becomes a paper mache corpse. Santa Joy is canceled. He chucks the book. It arcs over a fire escape. Santa in the drain. Storm drain gapes at the curb like a mouth that's seen too much. Santa gravelly from inside the drain. Hey kid. Boy, are you Santa? Come on down here. Sit on old Santa's lap. Tell me what you want. Mother pulls it back. Honey, no. There's no way that's Santa. That's not Santa. Santa opens his mouth, vomit streams out like a busted faucet. Wiener dogs yap incessantly. Distorted sleigh bell clangs. Get off. Get off me, you little bastards. Get off. Santa tries to kick them away. He's too slow. They gnaw and tear at his red suit, digging into his flesh. This is how it ends. A pack of wiener dogs destroying him. The pain is overwhelming. Hello, how are you? I'm okay, how are you? Get off me, you little bastards. They gnaw at his body with savage precision until finally, with one last rasping breath, Santa is gone.